Welcome to Week 6 Fantasy Forecast with me, Owen Wood, and with my special guest is my father, Chris.
What's up, what's up?
Alright, we will be discussing many aspects of fantasy football. Our first category will be sleepers. Chris, what do you got for that?
This week my sleeper is Sony Michel. I realize it's not like a huge surprise, but he is playing the Giants. Now they're 17th against running backs as far as total points scored, but this is a dream matchup as far as game flow. He had a career high 18 pass routes against Washington last week, so that's showing that they're getting him a little bit more involved in the pass game. He only got 3 targets, but they're breaking him in easy, and I think before long you're going to see Sony Michel as a dual threat back.
I got Case Keenum. He's finally the starter again. His foot is healthy. He is full. Thank God. We're done with Colt McCoy, Dwayne Haskins. They were terrible. He's facing Miami. They just traded their young star, Minka Fitzpatrick. They've allowed the most points to opposing quarterbacks this season, and I think he's an obvious start facing Miami. Our next category is bus. What do you got for that?
My bust this week is Matt Breida. Now, everybody saw the game Monday night, and he did go off on one run. All but 30 of his rush yards came on that one rush attempt. I can see the Rams taking the lead early, and therefore Breida will lose game flow value. He won't get as many carries, obviously, and then Tevin Coleman will be more involved as a back because he is the pass catcher. So stay away from Matt Breida this week.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again. My bust is Todd Gurley. He did go for 2 touchdowns last week against the Seattle defense, but this week will be different. He's facing San Fran. They have a stacked defensive line. They only allowed 87 rushing yards to Nick Chubb last week, and that's with him not having a banged up knee. His knee is still in question. We don't know how healthy he is. They didn't allow a rushing touchdown. I don't think they have yet this season. And without those rushing touchdowns, Todd Gurley will be a bust. Our next category is locks. What do you got for that?
My stone cold lock this week. Take it to the bank, cash it in. Deshaun Watson versus Kansas City. It's a dream matchup as far as game flow. Kansas City's going to score points. Houston's going to be playing from behind. I can see Kansas City taking an early lead. Kansas City also has a soft rush defense, which means Deshaun Watson will be able to find those rushing lanes, and those points are valuable for running quarterbacks.
I got Michael Thomas this week. He is coming off an amazing 11 catch, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns against a solid Tampa Bay defense. He's facing the Jags this week. They will probably be without Jalen Ramsey, and if he does play, he will not be full. He has been struggling with a back injury and has been limited at practice, so I think Michael Thomas is bound to have another good week. Our last category is waiver wire pickups. Let's see what you got for that.
My waiver wire pickup this week is Paul Richardson, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. He's averaging about 5 targets, a little bit more than that per week. They're facing Miami this week, who's just terrible all around. I can see Washington winning this game. As you mentioned before, Case Keenum is back, so we should see the ball thrown a little bit more down the field for the Redskins. The tight ends are still unreliable. You got Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis still banged up. So whoever's playing quarterback is going to be looking over the middle to see who's open. And Paul Richardson just has a gift for getting open over the middle. So he'll get a lot of targets, he'll catch a lot of passes. It may not be for a lot of yards, but especially in PPR leagues, he's going to have some value.
All right. My waiver wire pickup is Chase Edmonds. Now, if you're a David Johnson owner, he had an amazing week last week, but his back did tense up towards the end of the game. He was on the bench. If he misses this week, Chase Edmonds will be a lock. He'll probably be an RB1. He rushed 8 times for 68 yards and a touchdown. That's obviously very impressive, even though he didn't play a lot of snaps. The Atlanta defense is just not good. He is a great handcuff. Even if David Johnson does play, if anything happens in the future, he is bound to be a good RB1, and I think you should pick him up when available.
That's all I got for time.
See you next week for Week 7.